St. John Board of Zoning Appeals agenda here is, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Woo!
Thanks.
Just go ahead with it.
Okay.
Well, let's do it.
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Roll call, please.
John Gill,
Here?
Joe Gomez-Daigle,
Here.
Drago Popovich is currently absent. Rudy Bambic,
Here.
Chris Kreisbaum,
Here.
Adam Decker,
Here,
Bill Manisopoulos,
Here.
Ashley Abernathy, present. I would like to announce that Rudy Bambic is our newest BZA member appointed by the town council at their last plan commission meeting or town council meeting, and welcome him aboard.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, how are you guys?
The next item of business is the minutes. Everybody get a chance to read the minutes of May 1st, 2024.
I'll make a motion to approve the May 1st, 2024 BZA meeting minutes.
I'll second that.
Are there any questions or anything? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well, okay, the first order of business here is public hearing, 2024-15, developmental variance. Now, is it true that this is the first one that doesn't have their records?
No, this one is in order and is ready for public hearing. They are requesting a variance to build a 6-foot wrought iron style fence beyond the building line on a corner lot in R2 zoning district.
Okay. Is the applicant here, or?
The applicant is present.
Yes, sir.
This is to allow the construction of a 6-foot wrought iron fence to extend beyond the building line on a corner fence in the R2 zoning district at 9145 Edgar Lane in St. John, Indiana.
That's correct.
Could you state the name?
Yes, Mary Philbin.
I'm sorry?
Mary Philbin.
Address as well, Mary.
Pardon me?
Address as well, ma'am.
Oh, 9145 Eggert Lane, St. John, Indiana.
So this is going beyond the property line? Why couldn't it be before, like we normally put the fence, 2 feet before the property line?
For the layout of the yard and for safety and security of our yard, we wanted to just run the fence and have it meet to what would be the south side of existing arborvitae. And then it would come all the way back around and enclose on the south side of our house, yes. And enclose on the south side for safety reasons, sir. And I did submit pictures. There is no blockage for line of vision on the roadway at all. I know that's a big roadway issue, safety issue, but there is no impairment whatsoever.
Well, that's not at all what I'm trying to see, that the ordinance basically says that typically if you build it on your property line, it would be okay. But when you extend it outside your property line, then we have something to talk about here. And that could get us into issues here.
So, Ms. Philbin's here asking for the variance because it doesn't come under our code. So I would open the public hearing for any remonstrance, and then if there's any questions afterwards, we can ask them.
well, and I, Mr. Chairman, I would defer to staff, but I don't believe the request is to build a fence beyond their property line,
No, sir, it's beyond the building line.
Beyond the
Beyond the
building.
building line.
building line.
Okay, all right, I
Yeah,
took that
so
wrong.
I just think, I think that point of clarification. is
Okay,
needed,
that's
so.
beyond the, okay.
Correct.
And I'm sorry, I read that building, I didn't read the building line. That's good. Are there any remonstrance? No remonstrance on this?
I open it for
Open up,
public.
yeah, I opened it up I think we did, open it up for the public hearing. Are there any remonstrance in regards to this fence?
I received no written correspondence.
Pardon?
I received no
we
written
would
correspondence.
receive a written letter, Joe.
Yeah, we didn't receive, I didn't
So now
receive
you're
it.
asking the public to comment.
Right, and I don't see anyone commenting, so,
I don't see any issues with what she's asking. The only reason she's in this predicament is because they're on a corner lot.
That is
If
correct.
it was a house not on a corner lot, she would not have this issue in the first place. So being she's on a corner lot, she has limitations, which affects what they want to do with their landscaping, the pool, so on and so forth. So
if there's no issues on that,
from my point of view, I don't see anything wrong with what she wants to do. She even showed us that there's no blockages or line of sight from the vehicle.
now, Attorney, this is on a corner lot, even though it's on a corner lot, even if we approve this opens it up for everyone to do the same thing almost, right? In that
They-
subdivision.
They would have to apply go through the same process of applying for a variance, coming in front of the board,
But-
proving the findings of fact.
The question is here to our council is that if we open this up, that opens it up for other property owners to do the same thing.
We approved on the very first meeting of the year, Joe.
We did approve, that was on the one, well, but that was on a different lot section. That was a different lot, so,
It's
And
case by case.
anywhere in town on a corner lot can apply for the same variance.
so then, okay.
So, yeah, Mr. Chairman, the answer to your question is that each application for a variance from the development standards is presented on the facts of that particular case. There's no precedent established by the actions of the Board of Zoning Appeals in approving or denying any particular application. In this instance, I think I would remind the board of the standards and the criteria, the legal criteria for the approval of a variance from the development standards. Those are as follows. One, that the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. Number two, that the use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. And three, that the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. So before you today in this application, the applicant really should present evidence that there are practical difficulties in the use of the property if the zoning ordinance is enforced to its letter. And the burden to present that evidence rests with the applicant. So that's the legal standard for consideration tonight.
Well, having heard no remonstrance on this, going once, second call for remonstrance,
I mean,
two, public comments, or going three times. Public hearings adjourned. The board, what's your pleasure on this? Or you want to comment on this or anything? You want to prove it, or?
I'm in favor of approving the variance. Take a vote, Joe, call for a vote.
I know, but wait a second. Anybody else? No more comments? No. Oh, okay. In that case, take a vote on it?
No. This is out of order, Mr. Chair. So in order to take a vote on any matter before the Board of Zoning Appeals, a motion must be made, and that motion must be seconded by another member of the Board of Zoning Appeals. I've not heard a motion made
Okay,
yet.
that- So there was no second
Eric, I'll
motion?
make a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve too.
There's two motions here.
So, Mr. Bambick, yours would be a second.
All right. All those in favor? Are there any quick comments or anything about this? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
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 No nays? Okay, approved. 4-0.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Thank you. The second one is B, 2024-16, developmental variances from St. John Municipal Code 24-462 to allow for the construction of an attached garage approximately 2,227 square feet, exceeding the 1,640 square footage of a garage size allowable in an R1 zone district at 10178 East Wellington Street Court, St. John, Indiana. Could you
All the
please,
legals are in order for this item, sir.
are they?
Yes, sir.
Hi, my name's Deborah Dorsey Flazewski, and its address is 10178 East Wellington Court, St. John, Indiana.
Right. All the papers are in order?
Yes, sir. What the petitioner is doing is they are building a new residence at the property that they are requesting for, and they are requesting for a larger than allowable garage in a R1 zoning district. So they are wanting an increase to that 227. The maximum allowable is 1,640 square feet by ordinance.
Can you go back to the picture of the property line?
Yes, sir. So the garage will be over on this side.
Not affecting anything, I guess. In this case here, first, this is an R1 lot, and this is why it's an R2 lot. This is
This is an
Line open at the,
R1.
it's an R1 lot?
Yes, sir.
I thought it said R2. What the heck am I doing here? You said
was A.
zoning, it says here allowable in an R1 zoning district. Detached garage. Okay, yeah, it's good.
The garage square footage are the same on
The
R1
same,
and
yeah.
R2. They're both, yeah.
They're both the same, so, nothing. Are there any remonstrance or public comments on this? Any public comments, going twice? Public comments? Third time? Public hearing's closed. I open it up to the board.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance.
Okay. Second?
I'll approve the variance.
Okay, we'll vote on that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Passes. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's quick. Developmental variance for St. John Municipal Code 24 MC 24-516 to allow the construction of a 6-foot privacy fence on the property line of a corner lot in a R1, that's where I was reading, R1 zoning district at 9533 East Oak Ridge Drive, St. John, Indiana.
I'm Dave Krupa, 9533 East Oak Ridge Drive, St. John.
Everything is in order for this public hearing, sir.
Okay. Are there any public comments on this? Going once? Public comments? Going twice? Public comments? Public hearing's closed. I'll bring it to the board.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance.
Okay. Anyone second?
I mean, I'll approve it as well.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? All right, passes.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much, sir. All right, special exemption.
I did not receive all the proofs of publication for this
that's-
petition. I cannot verify that it has been properly noticed.
So in this case, we won't even hear it then.
Similar situation.
The
I
one-
didn't receive any
You
public.
didn't receive anything?
The only thing I know that was picked up was the sign.
Okay.
I didn't receive any of the certifieds. I didn't receive any proof from either newspaper. I didn't receive anything.
Okay.
So having said that, I guess we,
So not an issue.
not an issue, yeah, so close that. The meeting's adjourned, and I guess, not the meeting's adjourned, the public hearing's closed. And new old business, new or old business? Go ahead.
So we have some new business to discuss. There was some discussion about amending the BZA rules and regulations to amend what is required to provide notice for public hearings. I know the state statute requires at least one newspaper, a minimum of 10 days prior to. That would be the recommendation of staff to reduce to that one newspaper, minimum of 10. When it comes to adjacent property owners, there's not really anything set by statute. The previous place I worked, we just did adjacent property owners, which would be my recommendation. I would defer to legal if he has something different he would recommend. But my thoughts are with the fact that we have people post signs, we have one newspaper, we're gonna send it to people directly adjacent to, and we are also going to start publishing all public notices on the town's website. I don't see the need to send it to more than just adjacent property owners by way of certified lettering. Additionally, when you start getting into further certifieds, when you're getting into a bigger stack, the post office, I've heard from multiple people, has started not wanting them to do it. They'll make them do 5 and get out of line and get back in the end and 5 again. So I'd rather not have to have people trying to come in front of the board have to deal with only doing 5 certifieds at a time. That's a really long time to stand in line.
I don't see it being a necessity to do more than that. The adjacent property should be sufficient.
Any other comments here?
I agree with what she said.
This kind of goes back to what we spoke about.
Yeah, well, about the newspaper that, the couple or the group. With with information technology in front of us, which is, how is the town going to put that information for the general public to hear that, so when they go in front of us, they can...
So it's going to be posted on the website.
It will
It's
be
gonna
on
be
the,
posted
it will
on
be on
your
the town's
website.
web. I will be working with the clerk treasurer, and she'll be posting the public notices, the legal notice that gets sent out on the town's website. I will also be working with our IT department and creating a public hearing page where, like, items like this, all this information, what is being requested, what goes in your packet with personal information redacted will be published so that somebody can view it on the town's website instead of having to come into the building department and ask to see to see it. So they're not limited to the times that we're open, which is 7:30 to 4. They can go online and see what it is that the request is. They can see the legal notice.
Yeah, that sounds pretty so. Any other questions or nothing?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, so in order to change the notice requirements, it will be necessary to amend the zoning ordinance. And so an amendment of the zoning ordinance requires the Plan Commission to hold a hearing on the proposal, and then town would provide, notice, public notice of the hearing on the change of the zoning ordinance.
Right.
And then ultimately, after that hearing, the Plan Commission would make a recommendation to the town council, who ultimately would vote to either approve or not approve the proposed change to the zoning ordinance. And so if it's the board's desire to make those changes, as I understand it, or as I'm hearing, I can begin drafting a proposed ordinance that could be perhaps considered by the Board of Zoning Appeals to include these comments, which I think include reducing the publication notice from 2 papers to 1 paper, remain at 10 days advance notice. We still would require a notice in the ground, meaning a paper, signed notice, so that won't be changed. But then as far as notice to other property owners, that would be changed from all property owners within 300 feet to all property owners adjacent to the subject parcel itself. I think that's what I've understood the input to be tonight. So if there's any changes or any further discussion, that can be had at a future meeting, but I will task myself with drafting a proposed ordinance and perhaps bringing it back to the BZA next month, just so that it has the opportunity to review that, and then before the Plan Commission would then coordinate a hearing on that.
Would that be done at the same day? So that if it's approved next month by the BCA, when will the Planning Commission?
So the Plan Commission meets once a month. They typically meet on the 3rd Wednesday of the month. So in order to get notice out, we're bound by the same standards, so we'd have to have notice published 10 days in advance of that meeting in 2 newspapers. I would kind of defer to Ashley because she'll be responsible for doing that.
I believe August 9th is when I would have to have publication done for the Plan Commission, if I'm counting right.
Yeah, when is the Plan Commission meeting?
August 21st.
21st, so the 11th, and then that means the
22nd.
7th would be the meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Correct.
At that time. So that would give you enough time, if necessary, to get that out to the newspapers for a Plan Commission
It should.
hearing? Okay. So probably next month.
Okay.
Probably later in August would be the time it would be taken up by the Plan Commission, and then it probably would be heard by the Town Council in September, is what I would estimate.
I do have the discussion to amend the zoning ordinance for the same thing on the Plan Commission's agenda tonight as well.
Yeah, there's a study session tonight for the Plan
Yeah.
Commission.
That's good.
And I've recommended that they be the same, that there not be dissimilar,
Yes.
2 different types of notices required. So-
Right.
Based on our discussions at last month's meeting, I think this is something that needs to happen.
Yeah. And I think I saw the issue coming up with the group that, okay.
Okay.
There's nothing else that we need to do other than just give you,
No,
Go
not
ahead.
tonight.
Green light.
Yeah,
Okay.
not tonight.
all right. Any public comments?
I personally think that would be a great thing because we were.
Please come up to the board. Oh, no, don't worry about it. Just
I'm not afraid to
state, yeah.
check my
No,
voice.
state your name and address too
I'm
again,
very
please.
sorry.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm Mary Philbin, 9145 Eggert Lane in St. John. I think the change that you're proposing is very beneficial. This is just my particular case, but I was mailing certified letters to people that live in unincorporated Dyer because they were in this, the radius realm. And really, they would never even pass my house because we're almost on a dead-end block. So I think making it a little more streamlined for the residents would be a much more economical situation, and everybody is just tied to their electronics. So me personally, I think it would be great for people moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good evening. My name is Jorge Perez. Address 11170 Isles Avenue, unincorporated St. John is in Dyer, 46311. My case is the one that is not going to be seen because of issues of the publication with the sending it to the newspaper. I sent the information. I'm not sure if it wasn't processed or if I did something wrong. As I was speaking to Ashley, it's the first time I have to deal with any, present my issues in front of a board to voice my concern about having somewhere safer for my kids to play. My thing was just to put a permanent post on already existing concrete slab that I have in the back of the house. So I just wanted to do that, and I believe here they consider it a sports court. And the town does not allow, I believe, sports court. And, but it is not a big concrete slab. I just wanted to have my kids, a place that I'm not going to worry about the ball rolling in the streets. It's a new subdivision. A lot of people don't respect the speed limits in the area. I've seen it, cars drive by really fast. And I just don't want any of my kids or any other kids in the neighborhood to get hit because, they're just not allowing anything to be done in the back of a property. So I don't know if I can try to resubmit it again for,
I can get you updated legal notices,
thank you very much.
and we can go for the August meeting.
Very well.
I'll be in contact with you Friday.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else? Second, anyone else? Third, anyone else? Public comments are closed. Are there any public comments are there any comments from the board here? Anything? Meeting's adjourned. Passive, you want to close it, or? you
I'll
want
make a
pass-
motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Two motions. Okay, take it whatever you want. Okay, meeting's closed.